The Nigerian anthem, and now time for the national anthem of their opponents today from Gabon. We are on neutral territory here in Morocco, but good to see colours of the two teams visible in the stands here in Rabat. Gabon in their yellow shirts, blue shorts and socks. Nigeria in their familiar green and white. Super Eagles, traditional African footballing powerhouse, having to come through the playoffs if they're to make it to first World Cup since 2018. This is the Super Eagles lineup named by coach Eric Schell. There are two changes from the team which kicked off against Benin in their final group qualifier last month. Bright Osai Samuel coming into the defence for Semi Ajayi, and Ademola Lookman, the 2024 African Footballer of the Year, returns, meaning that Moses Simon drops to the bench. Victor Osimhen leading the attack, the scorer of a hat-trick in that vital win against Benin last month. Referee today is from South Africa. His assistants, one from South Africa and one from Angola. Fourth official from Mauritius. And we do have video assistant referees in operation for these playoff matches. VAR official from South Africa, keeping across all the action back in the control room. Gabon led by Thierry Muyuma on the bench, and up front led by Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, one of the great strikers of his generation, and available again today. He served a suspension in Gabon's last game against Burundi after banging in 4 goals and then being sent off in the win against the Gambia, which preceded that. Aubameyang will be joined in the attack notably by Dini Bouanga, who's been prolific for Los Angeles FC in Major League Soccer, but also Royce Openda, who plays his club football with Bordeaux in the French lower leagues and who has been given a first call-up for these matches. Plenty of experience, though, in the Gabon ranks as the Nigerian players come together for one last huddle out on the turf before we get underway here in the rain in Rabat today. There is Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, all eyes on the number 9, the Olympique de Marseille striker. What a great career he's had, and he's looking to cap it all off by taking his country to the World Cup. Well, it all comes down to this for Nigeria and Gabon. The first CAF playoff semi-final on the road to next year's World Cup. It is do or die for these teams now. The winner of this one will advance to Sunday's playoff final against either Cameroon or the Democratic Republic of Congo. And the winner of that, remember, will move on to the Inter-Confederation playoff tournament to come up in March. It's all about keeping the dream alive today on the road to the World Cup. The Nigerians, of course, since appearing at their first World Cup finals in the United States in 1994, have been regulars. 6 World Cups in total for them. Gabon have never been there. Early free kick then for the Nigerians. Ademola Lookman, one of the players standing over this. Referee just reminding the Gabon defenders that there is VAR in operation, that any missteps will be seen by the cameras, even if not by the referee himself. Two men in the wall. It's the long-range strike, which is held at the second attempt by Luis Marius Mbaba, the Gabon goalkeeper. I imagine the two teams will need a little bit of time just to settle into this contest. There will be a lot of nerves. This is Alex Iwobi turning into a bit of trouble, and free kick's been given against him. Iwobi these days playing for Fulham, the nephew of the great JJ Okocha. Eric Schell is the Nigerian coach these days. Appointed at the beginning of this year after Augustin Iguavoen had been the interim manager during the AFCON qualifiers. Took over a Nigeria team who were in a very sticky position in their bid to get to the World Cup. It had a very poor start, just 3 points taken from their first 4 matches. They hadn't won any of them. And he certainly got them on the right road again. It was always going to be hard for Nigeria to win their group after that, but they did manage to wrap up second place, albeit only just qualifying for the playoffs. Challenge coming in on Zaidu Sanusi. FC Porto left back, knocked off balance by Denis Bouanga. This is Benjamin Frederick. Iwobi. He will be looking for the ball over the top. It's a very attacking formation for the Nigerians, with Akor Adams in support of Osimhen up front, and Adams going for goal. Chance gifted to him, and an early opportunity passed up by the Nigerians. Came from Iwobi's ball over the top initially. The clearance closed down, and Adams unable to beat the Gabon goalkeeper. Thierry Mouyouma, the Gabon coach, has been in charge for a couple of years now, replacing the Frenchman Patrice Neveu. Neveu departing after Gabon failed to make it to the last AFCON in Côte d'Ivoire. Here is Bouanga. Well, they're still going. And of course, taking a deflection on its way through. It's going to be a goal kick, though. Well, Bouanga, I think, feels that he was fouled on his way into the penalty box, coming up against Bright Osai Samuel. Nothing given by the referee. Well, these two teams involved in high-scoring encounters last month in this qualifying campaign. Of course, so much attacking quality on display in both teams, but just wonder if it could be a slightly cagey affair today, given how high the stakes are. Didi with the interception. Chukwueze losing out. Challenge coming in, stopping the breakaway. Wilfred Ndidi, the Nigeria skipper, bringing down Bouanga. And he was otherwise running away into space. Bouanga, the yellow card produced by the referee, shown to Wilfred Ndidi. Formerly of Leicester City in England, now with Beşiktaş in Turkey. Kept in by Lemina. There's Mario Lemina again. One of those Gabon players who've enjoyed a long career at the highest level in Europe. There is a real mix in the Gabon team. A number of members of their squad plying their trade at club level on the African continent. A number playing with more modest European teams, perhaps, and then the likes of Lemina and Aubameyang have had marvellous careers at some of the biggest European sides. Denis Bouanga now playing in Major League Soccer, and it's really found a happy place there. This is Apindangoye. Anthony Oyono is the right back, wearing the number 3. That ball pounced upon, and Andre Biogo Poko looking for Aubameyang. It's good defending, cool play. A long ball forwards. Benjamin Frederick, young centre-back, starting in the heart of that defence today. No Semi Ajayi, played in the last match against Benin, and that was such a crucial game, by the way, the match against Benin. Nigerians had been beaten by Benin in the away fixture, a match actually played in Abidjan in June of last year, in the early stages of the qualifying campaign. The Nigerians had to get a result in that in order to be sure of finishing in second place. One for Brighton Osai Samuel, and he's won the free kick. Taking a knock in the process. There is Mario Lemina. Flying into the challenge there and clearly tripping up the Nigeria fullback. Mario Lemina ending up at Galatasaray, the Turkish giants, where Victor Osimhen has been starring in recent times, as we see Eric Schell again, the Nigeria coach. Lead the team into the AFCON. It was José Peseiro who took the Super Eagles to the AFCON final at the beginning of last year in Côte d'Ivoire. Eric Schell under a lot of pressure because the Nigerians expected to get to the World Cup, and also their fans will be expecting them to make a big impression at the Cup of Nations. Strong running down the right-hand side, the ball into the middle, away by Equalimonga, and the shot from the edge of the box is blazed over the bar. You see Alex Iwobi. Not far away from 100 caps now, Iwobi. Nigeria 0, Gabon 0. 10 minutes gone here. Yet to really see Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang involved in the game. touched on by Osimhen. All the way back to Luis Marius Mbaba, the Gabon goalkeeper. This is Iwobi. Versatile Alex Iwobi, playing in a deep central midfield role for his country. These days at Fulham. Challenge coming in from Oyono. This is Openda. Opens up the play. It's nicely done. Back to the left here for Jacques Ekoumi. Now Aubameyang coming in off the left. To hold the ball up towards Openda, arriving from the near side, but it was well anticipated by Stanley Bouabali. His kick out intercepted, and a very ambitious attempt to chip the goalkeeper from not far beyond the halfway line, coming to nothing from Anthony Oyono, the Italy-based fullback.
One side, the other side, one side, the other side, keep the ball! Let's keep the ball!
No, Saidou Sanusi. Iwobi. That's a good ball. Ademola Lookman comes up to the right-hand side. The shot is closed down. Still alive here for the Nigerians. Chukwueze. Gabo with plenty men back behind the ball. Now they can break the Bouanga. Lemina and Aubameyang making the runs up ahead of him. Denis Bouanga very isolated on the left at the moment, waiting for some support to come. He's on the break of the ball. And he'll run through for a goal kick. Denis Bouanga, who celebrated his 31st birthday on Tuesday, by the way. 26 goals in 33 Major League Soccer matches in 2025. That includes in the playoffs, which recently got underway, but he has been in marvellous form really ever since he went to MLS in 2022. Easily worth 20 goals a season. Didi away to Frederick. Now Calvin Bassey, member of the Fulham contingent in this Nigerian side. his teammates. Nigeria struggling to create anything in the early stages, but maybe they can do something here. Adams, it's a good ball in from him, and they find Osimhen at last. And Nigeria, number 9, heads off target, has taken a painful blow in the process as the goalkeeper came out to meet him. Adams just about onside the first-time cross, and Osimhen meeting that ball. Luis Marius Mbaba crashing into the Galatasaray striker in the process. Shell, the Nigeria coach, with some instructions for his number 3, Zaidu Sanusi. Thierry Bouyuma using the break in play to pass on some instructions as well. Maybe surprising, the meetings between these two teams have been incredibly rare. They did come up against each other in qualifying for the 2006 World Cup. Going back 2 decades now. Nigeria drawn 1-1 with Gabon in Libreville back in October 2004, and then winning the return fixture 2-0 at Port Harcourt a few months later in the World Cup qualifying campaign, in which the Nigerians finished second in that group. Gabon way out of contention. Nigerians ultimately missing out on that World Cup, but they have been regulars on the world stage over the last 3 decades. Victor Osimhen making his way back round to the halfway line before returning to the field of play. It's going to take something pretty extreme for Victor Osimhen to not carry on today, given how high the stakes are here. And he will be back on in just a moment as Calvin Bassey uses his strength to get the ball back. This is Iwobi. And Osimhen back on. Lookman, it's a good ball to Akor Adams, who once again has peeled out to the left-hand side here. Adams looking for Bright Osai Samuel. Birmingham City right back in field from him to Chukwueze. Iwobi, Zaidu Sanusi. Nigeria just trying to stamp their authority on the game, and maybe the opening will come. Tempted shot from the angle, closed down, and Gabon get it clear. It's going to come back at them. Iwobi to Zaidu Sanusi again. Iwobi lifting it in towards Osimhen. He is outstanding in the air, Osimhen, and he managed to divert the header down towards the bottom corner. It's a good save by Luis Marius Mbaba. Osimhen was onside and got up above Bruno Ekwelimonga. That's a great header. It's a really good stop. Very nearly 1-0 for Nigeria. First corner of the game. In-swinging delivery from the left, and the goalkeeper coming out, not really getting anything on it. This is a good spell for the Super Eagles. Goalless though between Nigeria and Gabon as we come up to the midway point in the first half. Remember, we will have a decision today. If that means extra time and penalties, then so be it. Look at the space here in the middle of the park. Lookman looking to feed Osimhen. Another excellent chance for Victor Osimhen is passed up. And given the form that he has been in, you'd expected him to do much better there. Great running. Driving at the Gabon penalty box. Osimhen was just completely off balance as he struck that. Iwobi, it's well played by Iwobi. Chukwueze. Again, you see Akor Adams, the Sevilla forward, the number 18, just moving out to occupy that position on the left. A dangerous ball in. And I think the goalkeeper gave the shout to his defender, and Baba claiming that ball. Gabon having to weather a little bit of a storm at the moment. Bassi. Will be in field. Chukwueze, Lookman. He's got quick feet. Ademola Lookman. He's maybe not at his sharpest at the moment, having not played all that regularly for his club at the beginning of the season. Benjamin Frederick belongs to Brentford in the English Premier League. Is on loan at Dender in Belgium. Nigeria's preparation for this playoff slightly disrupted. They didn't train, the squad, on Tuesday, just a couple of days ahead of this match. As they were trying to find agreement over some internal issues in the camp. But, good to see that the focus is fully on events in hand now. And they certainly look absolutely up for this. Have to beat. There's a World Cup place on the line. It's good sharp passing again for the Nigerians, working the ball around nicely. Osimhen driving into the penalty box. Bright Osai Samuel bursting forward in support. Unable to beat the goalkeeper, Osai Samuel. Doing well down that right-hand side. What does Eric Schell make of this? What do the two managers make of this? Chukwueze trying to keep that ball in play unsuccessfully. Kumi with the ball forwards. Well, Gabon broke into the Nigerian box a couple of times in the early minutes of the game, but since then they've been on the back foot. This first meeting of the countries in more than 20 years. Teams did also play each other at the AFCON in 1994. Nigeria beating Gabon 3-0 in Tunis with a couple of goals from Rashidi Yakini on their way to winning the trophy. Great Nigerian team of the 1990s. That was the year they played at their first World Cup as well. USA '94. Didi. It was Bassi. Every outfield player for Nigeria in the Gabon half of the field. Zaidu Sanusi. Lookman turns and plays the cross towards Osimhen. Again, he wins the ball in the air. And again, it's a brilliant save from the Gabon goalkeeper. Now then, some of these Nigerian players, are they suggesting that they thought that ball had crossed the line? See it better from this angle, perhaps. Lookman's cross, Osimhen's header, and it is then bizarre combination of ricochets in the 6-yard box off a couple of Gabon defenders, sending the ball spinning back towards the line. And Luis Marius Mbaba, again, brilliant reflexes to get down and tip that ball away. And it's thanks to him that the Panthers of Gabon remain on level terms here. Well, the referee obviously telling the Nigerian captain, Wilfred Ndidi, a bit of patience is needed because clearly the VAR team are just analysing the images. Victor Osimhen obviously thinks it's a handball, but the referee has been encouraged to get on with the action. South African match official, the VAR official, is from South Africa as well. Well, a couple of lucky escapes from Gabon in this first half here. They've been put under the cosh by the arsenal available to the Nigerians up front. A couple of experienced centre-backs for Gabon in Apindangoy and Bruno Ekwelimonga. Need to use all of that experience today here in the rain in Rabat. Ball down the line. Penda. It's good play, trying to get Aubameyang into the game in the middle, but Nigerian defence standing firm, and Didi sending it forward for Osimhen. Watched very closely by Bruno Ekwelimonga. A couple of really big saves for Luis Marius Mbaba, Côte d'Ivoire-based goalkeeper. This is Bassi. Didi has lost possession. Aubameyang, Bouanga to his left. Danny Bouanga for Gabon. Just not quite on the same wavelength as Aubameyang. Game is quite stretched. Osimhen, ex-Napoli man, he's got Ademola Lookman making the run ahead of him. Lookman with a little bit of a free roll off the central striker, gives it back to Osimhen. Chukwueze crowded out by one too many yellow shirts. Oh, Penda. Here's Openda again. New face in this Gabon team. What a time to come into the international fold. He's done well. He's got his team a corner. Gabon shooting towards their rowdy supporters behind that goal. There they are. A long way, of course, from Gabon to Rabat. What can they do from their first corner of the game? Deep delivery, an important clearance away. I think it was Adams back helping out. It's the delivery from Bouanga. Gabon player down in the penalty box, but no foul play involved. Jacques Ecomier will take the throw here. It's a free kick to Nigeria. Well, Cameroon and the Democratic Republic of Congo facing off later. There's going to be one or two very big names in African football who are not going to be going to the World Cup, that's for sure. Both nations and individuals, only one of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Victor Osimhen will keep their World Cup dream alive by the end of today. Ordinarily, you would say the Nigerians are the favourites, but Gabon had a very decent qualifying campaign, just edged out by a strong Côte d'Ivoire side for first place in their group. Bassi. Clearance by Stanley Nwabali, who's not really had a serious intervention to make, in stark contrast to his Gabonese counterpart as Osimhen performs some gymnastics there to keep possession and then win the free kick. Number 9 goals in 9 games, by the way, for Galatasaray this season. Nwabali has been the first choice in goal for Nigeria for some time now. Touched back to Samuel Chukwueze. Osimhen did well to bring that ball under control and to set himself up for the shot, but it wasn't a brilliant connection from Victor Osimhen. Ball was fired in at his feet.
Well done. It's perfect.
Turns 27 next month during the Cup of Nations. He'll have his birthday, Victor Osimhen, the ex-Napoli striker, waiting in the middle for this corner to come in. In the swinging delivery. He will be. Lookman on the turn, intercepted, and now Gabon can break here. Aubameyang feeding it into the path of Bouanga from the angle. That's a good block. And Denis Bouanga trying his luck. Maybe Aubameyang could have released that ball a little bit sooner. Oyono. Into the penalty box. It's going to be a goal kick. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is 36 now. Returned to Marseille for a second spell ahead of this season. Scored in their win against Brest in the French Ligue 1 last weekend. Osimhen didn't score for Galatasaray last weekend, but he did score for his club in the Champions League last week. A hat-trick away to Ajax Amsterdam. He's been in prolific form for club and country, Victor Osimhen. Forward by Bassi. We have an issue here. The referee jogging across towards the Gabon penalty box. The Gabon goalkeeper, Luis Marius Mbaba, has taken a knock to the thigh, the back of the thigh, by the looks of it, and wants some treatment. Players grabbing a drink. It's not particularly hot, by the way. Temperatures around 18, 19 degrees at the moment here in Rabat. About a third of the way down Morocco's Atlantic coast. This is the city that will host the second playoff semi-final later between Cameroon and the Democratic Republic of Congo. World Cup qualifiers to come in Europe tonight, including chances for the likes of France and Portugal to clinch World Cup qualification. England play tonight. They've already secured their place. Marius Mbaba seems to be okay to carry on. Oyono to take the throw here for Gabon. 5 minutes of the first half remaining, plus stoppage time. I suspect there will be a good few minutes added on. He will be inside. This is Ademola Lookman of Atalanta. Forced to turn back the way in search of support. He will be. And Didi. Good sharp passing from the Nigerians. Samuel setting off at the run. The referee's played the advantage here. And he looks for Osimhen in the middle. Well, that could have been a significant moment, because a number of the Gabon players seemed to stop as the assistant referee furiously waved his flag on the far side. In the end, Mbaba to the rescue once again. Signalled a free kick. Bouanga stopped. Samuel kept going. And Mbaba got there just in time. Goalless it remains in this first CAF World Cup qualifying playoff semi-final between Nigeria and Gabon. kept in play by Bouanga. Looks lively today, Denis Bouanga. Lemina to Didier Ndong, the ex-Sunderland man. Openda, header away by Frederick. And now Osimhen. He is such a tireless runner, Victor Osimhen. Works opposition defenders so hard. Abinda Ngoye did well. Back it comes to Iwobi. Chukwueze. Nigeria had never been to the World Cup until 1994 in the USA. That was the start of a run of 6 appearances out of 7 World Cups, and then they failed to qualify in 2022. Remember, they had that agonising playoff defeat over 2 legs against their near neighbours Ghana on away goals. 0-0 draw away, 1-1 at home in Abuja. And that meant they were not present in Qatar. Yellow card brandished. Abongile Tom, the referee. For Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Just back from suspension today after missing the last game in the group phase against Burundi. Could do with playing it to teammate Openda, and that's touch from Openda. And he took the wrong option. Royce Openda trying to beat the goalkeeper low at his near post when he seemed to have plenty to aim at on the other side. Well, Gabon are getting some chances. In the final minute of the first 45, it is still 0-0. No question that the best openings have come at the other end for the Nigerians. Trying to rescue a World Cup qualifying campaign. It began in ragged fashion, of course, the Super Eagles. Who will be pass intercepted. Bassi to Alex Iwobi again. Feeds the ball through towards Osimhen. Just look how closely he's been watched by the Gabon defence as we go into 6 minutes of added time at the end of the half. I suspected there would be quite a lot added on. Iwobi. And again, picked up by Oyono. This is Openda from the French 4th division. It's a World Cup qualifying playoff. With so many eyes watching him, watching his team. Nigerian fans around the country, around the world, tuning into this one, urging their team on. Would be massive for Gabon if they can come through this game today and advance to the final. Not making life easy for the Super Eagles, even if the best chances have been for the Nigerians. Aubameyang will not get on the end of that. Mario Lemina, teammate of Victor Osimhen's at Galatasaray at club level. There is an issue here. The referee coming across to speak to Stanley Nwabali. Problem with the ball. suggests it's not fully pumped up. These two teams are fully pumped up. Lookman picking the ball up in those fairly central positions. Not a lot of space for him to deal with, but he wins the free kick. Are we going to see a goal before half-time? Ball in, a high hanging delivery collected by the goalkeeper. Andre Biogo Poko playing the ball to the far side. Here's Aubameyang. Can he make something happen for Gabon? Not here. Openda. The rain is falling more heavily now. Gabon weathering a bit of a storm in the middle of the first half here. Eric Schell's team coming close to taking the lead, but the action has calmed down a bit since then. Right beside Samuel. Followed by Bassi. Looks like we're going to end the first half 0-0 here. Thierry Mouyouma's Gabon side looking for what would be a massive feather in their cap to beat the Nigerians and remain on course to qualify for the World Cup. Terrific running into the penalty box and a really important challenge in the end by Frederick. Well, Aubameyang may be 36 now, but he doesn't really appear to have lost any of his searing pace. That was brilliant running from the ex-Arsenal man. But a brilliant recovery as well from Frederick to make sure he blocked the path to goal of Gabon's superstar striker. There's going to be a Gabon corner. This will be the final action of the first half, surely. High hanging delivery. Mabali helping it on its way and then deciding to come all the way out to prevent that ball running behind for the throw. The half-time whistle will come any second now. The referee looking at his watch. And there's been plenty of talking points in the first half, plenty of... Five substitutes still available to each coach, and if we go to extra time, another substitution could be made then. Gabon get us underway then in the second half here in Rabat. This first CAF World Cup qualifying playoff semi-final. Cameroon against the Democratic Republic of Congo to come later. And the two winners today meeting on Sunday in the final. There is the possibility of a meeting between the neighbours, Nigeria and Cameroon. What an occasion that would be. Problem with the ball again, it doesn't seem to be properly pumped up. Gabon, remember, were the best performing runner-up in the 9 African qualifying groups. Only the results against, the results against every team other than the last place team in each group were taken into account. Gabon therefore had more points than any other group runner-up. Nigeria just scraping in by a difference of 1 goal ahead of Burkina Faso. And in the end, shows the importance of the fact that they scored their last goal right at the end against Benin in their last game when Osimhen scored a hat-trick, and then they got a 4th goal through Franck Onyeka at the death in that match, and that was enough to edge them in front of Burkina Faso and ensure that they took one of the positions available to the 4 best runners-up in the group phase to advance to these playoffs. Group 1 by South Africa. Nigeria therefore denying Benin, who were not far away from what would have been a remarkable achievement for them. They could even have won that group. Osai Samuel, he did well initially, he's given that ball away though. Openda turning back the way, this is Lemina. Clearance by Baba, long downfield. Didi to Bassi. Just wonder how long it'll be before the Nigerians look to their bench. They have quality on the bench. Notably, Moses Simon, not in the starting lineup today. He's an option to come on and add pace and dynamism on the wing if needed. Here's Bouanga for Gabon. Inside the penalty box, looks to shape one towards the far corner. Blocked by Ndidi. Nice ball fed through towards Aubameyang. Good defending from Frederick. Very promising talent, Benjamin Frederick. Nigeria, a country with a marvellous reputation for bringing through talented players, of course, with so many wonderful stars down the years, the Super Eagles. This is a team full of talent as well under Eric Schell, the Nigeria coach, who was born in Abidjan, played for Mali at international level, and spent his entire club career in France. Labali coming out of the penalty box to sweep up. Send that ball long downfield, out for a throw. Thierry Mouyouma, the Gabon coach, looking to do something that no Gabon coach has done before. They've never qualified for the World Cup. They finished second in their group in the qualifying campaign for Qatar 2022, behind Egypt, but a long way behind the Egyptians. And, in the 2022 qualifiers, of course, the group winners all went into playoffs. There were only 5 spots available for teams from the continent. The expanded World Cup meaning 9 automatic berths, and these teams looking to join them. Gabon coming forward again, great running down the right, and the referee's given the free kick here. Zaidou Sanusi penalised. Well, Victor Osimhen is coming back to protest to the referee. Sanusi into the challenge on Openda. It's been a bit of a nuisance, Royce Openda. Plenty of Gabon fans here in the stadium in Rabat today, outnumbering their Nigerian counterparts by some distance. Free kick whipped in and all the way across the face of goal. It's come off the defender. Now, what's the referee giving here? Mario Lemina and Equalizer, Gabon players, I think clearly indicating they feel there was a shout for a penalty in there. It looks like Aaron Apindangoye, the number 2, is possibly having his shirt pulled. All eyes on the referee. I'm not sure that the Gabon players surrounding him is going to influence his decision. But this is being checked by VAR. A bit of confusion. It looks like this is going to be worth the on-field referee coming across to check the monitor here. A free kick coming in from the right. It's Aaron Apindangoye, whose shirt was manifestly being pulled. Now let's see if the referee feels there's enough in it to give the spot kick. What a moment this could be. You can see there the still image doesn't look too good for Bright Osai Samuel, the Nigerian number 12, who's got a hold on the shirt of the Gabon number 2 at the back post as that ball comes in. And it's fair to assume that had Apindangoye been completely free of the attentions of Osai Samuel, he might have got something on that ball. And the referee may well consider this to be worth a spot kick. Let's see what he decides. Well, there you see it slowed down. Osai Samuel on Apindangoye.
Très facile. Non, 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 non. Il ne touche pas, il ne touche pas.
It's Bwanga's delivery, and he's looking for a teammate at the back post. Bruno Equalizer, the captain, is attacking that ball as well. That's not the most conclusive image, is it? But from the other side, we saw that there was a hold on the shirt of the Gabon player. Well, let's just see what the referee decides. Certainly, it looks like a situation where a big call could be made here. these are such big decisions. In this case, could be talking about the difference between having your World Cup dreams ended and remaining on course to qualify for a first ever World Cup, as would be the case with Gabon. It's taking a long time to study this, aware of the gravity of the decision.
Obrigado. Preto é facinho, não? How many minutes now? 5 minutes? 5 minutes?
Clearly wondering if the attacking player, in this case Aubameyang, could have got on the end of that ball, or maybe it's not conclusive. It's hard to be absolutely sure. The referee has to be sure to make the call. That's why he's taking his time. Osimhen has made his call. There is no penalty. And it's celebrated, that decision by Brighton side. Samuel, a shake of the head from Aubameyang, who's the Gabon player involved, the very experienced 33-year-old centre-back playing in Turkey these days. He thought that was a penalty, but it's not been given. Well then, how big a moment could that turn out to be in this semi-final? It is going to be a Gabon corner. After a long delay. Delivered towards the back post, collected by Stanley Nwabali. Looks for the early ball forwards. Touched on by Chukwueze, looking for Osimhen. Let's get back into the rhythm of the game now after that break in play. Frederick coming across the cover. The referee bringing it back here for a free kick in midfield. Goalless between Nigeria and Gabon then. One of the teams who have already qualified, Mohamed Salah's Egypt, Senegal, been firmly established as a powerhouse in African international football for some time now. South Africa. Great to see Bafana heading back to the World Cup, finishing above Nigeria in Group C. Cape Verde, what an incredible achievement it was for them to qualify as winners of their group. Morocco, semi-finalists last time. Côte d'Ivoire, the reigning African champions. Algeria, Tunisia, and the Black Stars of Ghana have all qualified for the World Cup. The draw, remember, taking place just a few weeks away. 3 weeks tomorrow in Washington, D.C. Draw for the Inter-Confederation playoffs, by the way, will take place next week. We don't know who plays who in those playoffs. Depending on your FIFA ranking, you either have to play 2 games or just one. Bwanga trying to force his way through, Bassi covering. Time out for a change. Double substitution. Ademola Lookman, last year's African Footballer of the Year, and Samuel Chukwueze. Two players coming off here. Moses Simon, we thought we'd see him entering the fray at some point. Number 15 with Paris FC in Ligue 1 in France. And Chidera Ejuke of Sevilla in Spain coming on as well. So fresh legs in attack as we hit the hour mark here in Rabat. Lookman of Atalanta, Chukwueze playing for Fulham this season in England, and it's Simon and Ejuke coming on. So not really a surprise that Eric Schell has opted to freshen things up on the flanks. Penda overrunning that one. So Penda, who is putting in a lively performance on his senior international debut for somebody who's playing club football in the lower leagues in France. To Muyuma, currently appealing to the fourth official down there, the Gabon coach. Celebrated 2 years in charge, well-travelled playing career. Muyuma represented Gabon at international level too. Panthers still making life very uncomfortable for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Nigeria must have been hoping that they'd done the really hard part by turning around a flagging qualifying campaign. Think back to where they were in June of last year. They drew 3 and lost 1 of their first 4 matches. Games that overall you'd be expecting them to win. Didi into the challenge. The referee's going to bring it back here. The Gabon free kick. Wilfred and Didi need to be a little bit careful. Jacques Ecomier is the Gabon player making the run forwards from left back, pushed over by Ndidi. Stanley Nwabali organising his defence. Are we going to get the breakthrough goal in normal time? Standing over this. Back helping out defensively for the Nigerians. Saw the havoc that the last Bronco free kick delivery caused, and that one is headed behind by Victor Osimhen. Aubameyang still hasn't really had a chance to grasp that in this game. Rain continues to fall here in the Moroccan capital. Gabon give their fans massed at this end of the stadium something to shout about. It would be a massive moment if Gabon could take the lead against the Nigerians. The delivery from the left, deep ball is headed behind by Frederick for another corner. Aubameyang just arouse the supporters of the Panthers here. Minutes in, Nigeria have not created anything really in the second half. It's Gabon who've been more threatening. Nwabali collects that ball. Stanley Nwabali, the goalkeeper who plays his club football in South Africa. Ball had gone behind from another Gabon corner. category, straight into the arms of Wabali that time. He looks to set off the counter, he will be. Big switch of play. This is Ejuke. Sevilla winger, freshly on as a substitute, looking to pick out a teammate in the middle. Adams and Osimhen in there. That's better for the Nigerians. Qualifier, 37 now, the Gabon captain. Got more league football in France these days, but it's vast experience, so precious to the Panthers side. Simon then will take this. Adams, the players forward for the Nigerians. Committing too many men forward, the Nigerians. Will be able to keep that in play. It's a stalemate at the moment. It is that Nigeria were not in a strong position at all in their qualifying group a couple of months ago. For them it's always been pretty much unthinkable, the idea of not making it to the World Cup. Aubameyang, Gabon have setting their sights on a first ever appearance at the World Cup. Not been a million miles away. A couple of occasions, the qualifying tournament for 2018, they were participants in the final round of group qualifying, but ended up third in their section. Very difficult group behind Morocco and Côte d'Ivoire. Of course, it's always been incredibly tough in Africa to qualify for the World Cup, given the limited number of places. And they come again. Kept in play. Team behind by Oyono. Midway through the second half then in Rabat. Two teams will be back here in Morocco just over a month's time for the African Cup of Nations. Gabon will be coming up, renewing acquaintances with Côte d'Ivoire, having been in the same World Cup qualifying group as them. Cameroon and Mozambique as well. Nigeria based not too far away from here in the city of Fez. They play Tunisia, Uganda and Tanzania. Tanzania their first opponents, that's going to be the 23rd of December, but fair to say that if they fail to make it through these playoffs to keep their World Cup bid alive, I think they'll be coming here in a somewhat depressed mood. Runners up at the AFCON last year in Abidjan, losing to the Elephants in the final. Ball into the left, Osimhen, it's just behind him. Well played by Openda, giving it to Lamina. Didier Ndong. Connected, Cam played possession from Didier Ndong. It's going to become more and more like a battle of attrition as the minutes tick down. Chances of recovering from a mistake will be getting slimmer. Things will get more and more tense. Could, remember, go all the way to penalties if needed this evening here. Already going to be pushing 7 p.m. here in Rabat, the time normal time reaches a conclusion. Nigeria coming into the box from the left, a drop of the shoulder. And the ball too high for Osimhen. Haven't been able to provide service to the number 9 in the second half. Chances are that this game will just about run into the second semi-final to come later on. Cameroon, the Democratic Republic of Congo, facing off in that second match. Played here in Rabat as well, but not at the same stadium. It was taking place at the Al Barid Stadium. Shell, under the stress, is just getting to him a little bit. Celebrated his 48th birthday with the squad in camp on Tuesday. Back to Bassi. It's Bright Masai Samuel. The pass easily cut out. Picked up by Lamina. Rosso Penda has made one appearance in the French top flight. FC Lorient a couple of years ago, but these days playing in the 4th division as Girondins de Bordeaux, a very famous club, of course, in France, but they've tumbled down the divisions due to their financial predicament. Handling the step up, though, to this level very well indeed on his Gabon bow. Wilfred Ndidi's Nigeria being thwarted at the moment by this Gabon team. Bali under a bit of pressure. Been very stop-start in this second half, and just the flow of the game has never really returned after the interval. I think that long stop in play for the VAR check for the potential penalty has had a bit of a negative influence on proceedings in that sense. Stanley Nwabali may require some treatment here. Thierry Mouyuma looking down the line towards his substitutes. Played for Gabon at the AFCON in 2000, by the way, Thierry Mouyuma. Looks like a change is in the offing for the Panthers. Well, this is how Nwabali got hurt. He was being put under pressure. I think he's just felt something go, possibly a muscle issue. Been closed down by Andre Biogo Poko. Was he caught on the right ankle, follow through by the Gabon player, Stanley Nwabali. He's the starting goalkeeper throughout the run to the AFCON final last year. He's been the first choice ever since. And he's calling for a change. He's not going to be able to continue by the looks of it, which is a big blow for the Nigerians. Two substitute goalkeepers available for the Super Eagles. Maduka Okoye of Udinese in Serie A in Italy is the obvious contender to come on. Nwabali was calling for the change. Let's just see if he changes his mind and tries to continue. It looks like the signal is being made towards the bench that he will try to carry on. is beginning to look like one goal will perhaps decide this, if we are going to have one goal in normal time. Nwabali looking like he's ready to try to carry on. Gabon, meanwhile, preparing a double substitution then. So Royce Openda is making way for another French-based starlet. Brian Méo belongs to Olympique Lyonnais, one of the biggest French clubs. He's just 19, and André Biogo-Poko coming off as well. It's Noah Lemina, who is just 20, the younger brother of Mario, joining his brother on the pitch now. So Openda and André Biogo-Poko off, Méo and Lemina on. Méo, who scored against Burundi, I should say, in that last group qualifier last month. Fresh legs in the final third for Gabon, so important for them. Sense they'll be the happier of the two sides with the current situation. Into the final quarter of an hour of normal time then. 0-0 between Nigeria and Gabon. The World Cup dream could stay alive for only one of these teams at the end of this game today, but it may well require extra time, even penalties. Now then, this could be the chance for the Nigerians, gifted to them. And they've taken it. Akor Adams turning the ball in. It's a disaster for Gabon. And the Super Eagles are ahead. Oh, horrible, horrible moment for Aaron Apindangoye and for Gabon. And all credit to Akor Adams for keeping a cool head in that situation. Well, there was no pressure whatsoever on the defender here. He had a bit of time, too much time in the end to make his mind up. And just playing that ball into the danger zone, leaving the goalkeeper completely stranded, and the Sevilla striker Akor Adams, who scored on his Super Eagles debut last month against Lesotho, turning the ball in there to make it Nigeria 1, Gabon 0. Just at a point where you were sensing that it would take perhaps a mistake for a goal to come, and that one goal might be enough to decide it. Is that the goal that sends the Nigerians into the playoff final? Akor Adams emerging as the hero, pouncing on that needlessly given away ball back the way from Apindangoye. And what a second half it's been for the Gabon defender, who felt he should have won a penalty at the other end at the beginning of the second half. His claim denied after a VAR check. And then losing possession with disastrous consequences. Gabon now running out of time to turn this around. Just 11 minutes of the 19th to play. They're going to have to throw everything at the Nigerians, and they may well be picked off on the counter. Osimhen with the interception. Njuke, fresh legs of the substitute, back the way to Ndidi. Lamina forwards. Well, Nigeria just need to make sure they avoid making a mistake. Gabon's good performances usually come at home. They're very formidable indeed in front of their own supporters. They tend to play games in Franceville. Can be a bit tougher for them on their travels. Excellent campaign all round in the group phase, of course. Only Côte d'Ivoire taking anything off them. But really, this has been a step up for them tonight in terms of the quality in the opposition camp. And at this level, if you give the ball away in such a situation, well, you are liable to be punished, especially if the ball falls to a striker playing in La Liga in Spain. Akor Adams has not been prolific. Just 2 goals for his club this season. One of them came against Barcelona. He's not had too many starts, admittedly, but he was alert to that ball. And Luis Marius Mbaba, who made a couple of superb saves in the first half to deny Victor Osimhen, but he was completely stranded in that situation. And Apinda Ngoye is such an experienced defender, crestfallen after that mistake. Time is Gabon's enemy now. As that ball is fed through towards Osimhen. He's in behind. Osimhen maybe could have taken a little bit more time there, but the offside flag up against the Galatasaray striker. Had gone a little bit too soon. Victor Osimhen, he wants to get to first World Cup. Nigeria just going to reinforce the midfield with the introduction of Franco Onyeka. To Adams, the goal scorer, coming off. A new start for the Nigerian national team. And they're just going to beef things up in the middle. Onyeka coming on as the player who scored the crucial late goal, decisive late goal in the end in the last match against Benin last month to secure Nigeria's place in the playoffs. Franco Onyeka of Brentford in the English Premier League. Oyono out to the right flank. Gabon looking for the equalizer. How the momentum can swing as well, of course, if they get themselves back level. They would perhaps seize the momentum going into extra time, but it might be a big ask for them to break down this Nigeria defence now as the rain keeps on falling. Another corner for the Panthers. Still haven't really been able to provide the service to Aubameyang this evening. Headed away by Iwobi. Time for Gabon to make another substitution then. Didier Ndong coming off. Very experienced midfield player. 31 years old, was a long time out of the international setup before coming back in during this campaign, and Samake replaces him. That really is like for like in the middle of midfield. Maybe just allows Gabon to maintain some structure as they push more and more bodies forwards in search of the equalizer. Super Eagles just need to remain sensible. Gabon have had multiple appearances at the Cup of Nations in the last 15 years or so. They've sometimes gone into that competition with big ambitions. It's not really worked out for them. The World Cup is the big dream now. Osimhen asking a lot of Ejuke. Osimhen will pounce upon this. Victor Osimhen for Nigeria is gone for a goal. Well, that was possibly a little bit unwise from Victor Osimhen. 6 goals during the group phase in qualifying, including that hat-trick against Benin in the last game. But it's Akor Adams who's got the goal tonight, the striker who played in Norway, played in France before moving to Sevilla. Cross in from the left and collected by Nwabali. Safe pair of hands, Stanley Nwabali. Juke into the tackle on Bwanga, and Bwanga's been penalised. Chidera Juke, players that Nigeria have brought on in this second half, returning to the Super Eagles fold for the first time since the AFCON in 2022 in Cameroon, nearly 4 years on. Has always been a real depth of attacking talent available to the Super Eagles, that's for sure. The goal today not coming from Osimhen, coming after Ademola Lookman had gone off the field. Here's Equalizer. Frederick covering, returning it to Nwabali. Nigeria's hopes of reaching the last World Cup, of course, ending in agonising fashion in that playoff against Ghana, which they were beaten on away goals. Another tense affair in this playoff tonight. Hadn't previously lost against Gabon, either in World Cup qualifying 2 decades ago or at the AFCON in 1994, the year when Nigeria first appeared at the World Cup. Great footballing nation, Nigeria. Their World Cup record is good in terms of making it to the finals in recent times. They've never gone beyond the last 16, stage at which they've appeared 3 times. Lamina with the shot, it's gone in, it's taken a deflection. Gabon a level in the 89th minute. My incredible scenes here. It looked like Gabon's World Cup dream had died after Akor Adams put Nigeria in front with time running out, but now it appears that they've forced extra time. With a little bit of luck, Nwabali making the gesture to point out that he was beaten by the deflection. Just a hopeful long ball forward. It came off the head of Osai Samuel. And there's the shot from Mario Lemina, one of Gabon's most experienced players. Almost certainly would not have gone in without that deflection. The lucky break they were looking for. Mario Lemina of Galatasaray makes it Nigeria 1, Gabon 1. And there's still some way to go in this playoff semi-final. The goal is credited to Mario Lemina. But make no mistake, the deflection there was decisive. And we're going to have 11 minutes of stoppage time at the end of this game. Long, long way to go yet. And Juke, the ball into the middle. Now Gabon will have the bit between their teeth. In fact, it's 12 minutes of stoppage time. I think we had a minute added to that with the celebrations for the goal. You might have expected it to come from maybe Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang or Bouanga, but instead Mario Lemina is the hero for the Panthers, and they can still do this. Swept forward by Mbaba. Well, a real punch in the gut for the Nigerians. Still would have had to negotiate all this stoppage time. Maybe it can focus their minds. A match which has really come to life. And Juke looking to feed Osimhen. I think he may have gone a fraction of a second too soon. He's put the shot wide anyway. Well, he's not quite been able to find his range in this second half, at least. A couple of great chances on target before the break. Normally, you'd expect Osimhen to score there. So prolific for Napoli, for Galatasaray. But wide of the far post. Nigeria's masked number 9, the talisman. Eric Schell looking concerned as he watches on. Bassi under pressure from Aubameyang. He's put that behind for a throw. Aubameyang's in a rush to take it. Gabon getting tremendous backing from their fans who are here tonight in Rabat. Stadium, by the way, which will host games at the AFCON, including all of Algeria's group games. Now that's taking a touch off the Gabon defender, Ikumi. Hassled and harried by Chidere Juke. Thierry Muyuma is very much pumped up down on the touchline, the Gabon coach. What a scalp this would be for the Panthers if they could beat the Nigerians. Frederick comes to Juke. They need to get balls into the middle and try and find Osimhen. Attempted cross by Ndidi. Qualimonga taking a painful blow. That ball hit him where it hurts there. And meanwhile, treatment required as well for Mario Lemina. Well, Qualimonga's going to be okay to carry on. What can Nigeria do from the corner? Moses Simon will take this. It's all about having the staying power. If we do go to extra time, we will have played 18 minutes of stoppage time across the two halves as well. Plus another half an hour to come, potentially at the moment, because there is still time remaining here for one of these teams to find a winner. Osimhen trying to get his head to that. Again, not making the connection that he desired. Still the pressure's on. It's come all the way into the middle. Equalizer hacks it away. Now Osai Samuel. He was unfortunate at the Gabon goal. Chidera Ejuke tries to get the ball into the box again. They just need to find Osimhen. Bassi. Ejuke once more. It's a good delivery that time. Cameroon against the Democratic Republic of Congo to come. That one kicking off in just under an hour from now. There's a chance that this game will barely have reached a conclusion by then. Simon to take the latest corner. The referee's just holding things up here. There is a Gabon player down. Maybe the Nigerians feel that Gabon are happy to buy some time. Bassi and Noah Lemina are the players getting a talking to from the referee. It's Noah's big brother Mario who has rescued Gabon in this situation. Simon's delivery all the way towards the back post. Simon again. Challenge coming in on him. And there is Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang doing some of the defensive dirty work. Simon will take this. A dreary day in Rabat. Ejuke has run that ball across the line. I think it's going to be a goal kick. Well, he's tried to make an impact since coming on, Chidera Ejuke. Maybe there'll be one last chance for Gabon in normal time. Lemina. Running into Onyeka, and they brought on to help shore up the midfield as they tried to hang on to their one-goal lead. That strategy did not work. Question now really is just how much urgency to apply. How much do they want to win this game without having to go to extra time? Is it worth the risk? May well be that whoever wins, if it does go to extra time, well, that extra time might play a part in a few days when it comes to the final. A bit more fatigue to bear in mind. Here is Mario Lemina, Gabon's goal scorer. Caught there by Ndidi. Mario Lemina, who is 32 now, who's had a fine career in European football, played for some really big clubs, Marseille, Juventus, Galatasaray now. He was previously last season at Wolverhampton Wanderers in the English Premier League. Bouanga then to deliver the free kick here. Cleared. Still alive for Gabon. Mario Lemina again. Aubameyang. He's given that away. Maybe an opportunity for Nigeria to break. Osimhen running through on goal in the 12th minute of stoppage time. Victor Osimhen to win it. He's put it wide. Well, he's not been his usual self in the second half, Victor Osimhen. And somewhat ashen-faced looking Eric Shell. He can't believe it. Nigeria could have won this right at the end of injury time. Have to question why Gabon was so wide open. Osimhen was coming from his own half. He wasn't offside. And he is completely snatched at the chance. Astonishing. From one of the most clinical strikers in world football. Osimhen making a complete mess of it. And to extra time, we will surely now go. Absolutely remarkable for a player who has been in wonderful form this season. 6 goals in 3 Champions League games for Galatasaray. He could have won it with the last kick, but instead, normal time finally over here in Rabat. Will be Nigeria to kick us off then. On we go in extra time then in this playoff semi-final. Who will come out on top? Nigeria, regulars at the World Cup across the last 30 years. The first ever World Cup came in North America in '94. And they want to make sure they're back in North America next June for the first ever 48-team World Cup, but they have been thwarted thus far by Gabon here. Changes at the beginning of extra time. Just wonder what that miss will do to Osimhen's confidence. He will be looking for Osimhen in the middle. Gabon will be a bit more relaxed. There's less pressure on them. They salvaged this situation with the late equalizer. They were then rescued by that incredible miss in injury time from Osimhen. Mario Lemina, the goal scorer, with the aid of a crucial deflection. Thumbs up from Moses Simon. Here's Bassi. Zaidou Sanusi charging forward. Ball looking for Moses Simon, wasn't the best. Moses Simon very settled in France these days. He left Nantes for very ambitious Paris FC in the summer, the second club in the French capital, now playing in the top flight. Thierry Mouyouma, the Gabon coach, there with his back to us. He played in France himself. Also played in Cameroon, by the way. Possible at the moment we could have a Gabon-Cameroon playoff final here, with the winners on Sunday of the playoff final here in Africa will advance to the Inter-Confederation playoffs to come next March. In terms of the qualified teams for the Inter-Confederation playoffs, Bolivia will be the South American side, New Caledonia from Oceania. 2 teams to come from the CONCACAF zone. We have 3 groups. At the moment, the teams in second place that are primed to advance are Curaçao and Costa Rica. Panama, another team currently in second place in the CONCACAF groups. Then you have the AFC playoff tie, which first leg is today, United Arab Emirates and Iraq. Winner of that one will advance to the Inter-Confederation playoffs as well. Ball into the middle, an awkward one, and eventually collected by Mbaba. He made some really big saves in the first half, let's not forget. The ball looking for Aubameyang, cut out by Frederick. Onyeka lost that ball under pressure. Frederick again keeping a cool head. Nigeria player staying down here. The referee will just stop the play for treatment if needed. Well, how big will that goal from Mario Lemina prove to be? Just came at a point where Gabon appeared to be down and out. I think it's safe to say it wasn't going in without that deflection. Nicely worked. Ndidi coming forward. It's a nicely measured ball as well, and Nigeria have that second goal. Really well played, and a really cool, composed finish from Chidera Ejuke. Well, Nigeria could have won it right at the end of injury time. They've kept their heads up, and they have that second goal now. Celebrations in the stands, and I'm sure celebrations back in Nigeria, all over the country as well. Collective sigh of relief maybe too. Great play by Ndidi. perfectly measured ball. And Ejuke, the second half substitute, just picking his spot low in the corner. Maybe an unlikely hero for the Super Eagles. The Sevilla winger who'd never scored for his country before. Celebrates in style. It's Nigeria 2, Gabon 1. And it's 2 Sevilla players on the score sheet then for Nigeria today. Ejuke was a long time out of the Super Eagles reckoning. It's more than 5 years now since he made his debut. And finally gets his first goal, and what a time to get it in extra time here in Rabat. A huge pick-me-up for this Nigerian side. Maybe the most relieved man in the stadium will be Victor Osimhen. Must have feared the worst when he squandered that chance. Felt it might have handed the initiative to Gabon, but we've seen the response now from Nigeria at the start of extra time. And it's now going to be over to Gabon again to recover from falling behind. They're all going to make another substitution. It's going to be a defender coming on. Number 4 is Alex Muketu. I think it will be a double change. Nigeria might be happy just to slow things down here. Ejuke's taken a knock to the knee. He's being helped back up by Victor Osimhen. In the 100th minute of this game, but you do have to add on 18 minutes of stoppage time across the first half and second half combined. Time then for Gabon to make that change. It's Brian Mayo coming off here, which is interesting. Substitute being replaced, and Noah Lemina, the other substitute, being replaced as well. Muketu is on. And Jeremy Oyono is coming on as well, twin brother of Anthony. So a bit of a reshuffle at the back, I think, for Gabon. Possibly a switch to 3 centre-backs. Let's keep an eye on that for the moment. Nigeria trying to force it through to Osimhen. Yeka charging forwards. Not doing things the easy way in this qualifying campaign, the Nigerians. It's really well played by Frederick though. Osimhen from the angle. Victor Osimhen, he's found a corner. That's more like it than the Super Eagles superstar, who rips off his shirt in celebration. The mask is gone. And after that unlikely miss at the end of normal time, well, that is surely the goal that sends Nigeria into the playoff final. And you have to say huge credit to the young defender Benjamin Frederick. Talk about defending on the front foot, charging forward into the opposition half of the field and giving it to Osimhen inside the box. A really superbly taken goal from such a tight angle. The Galatasaray man makes it Nigeria 3, Gabon 1. It's really hard to see Gabon coming back from this. The Nigerians have the wind in their sails. And their biggest star finding his range again. 6 goals during the group phase in qualifying. Well, there's another goal tonight. And after Ejuke had restored their lead, the 2-goal cushion for Nigeria leaves the Panthers of Gabon with an awful lot to do. You have to say the response has been excellent. So confirmation, Victor Osimhen getting a yellow card, as you might expect, for ripping his shirt off in celebration. You may have noted as well that Obasogie got a yellow card. Well, that's one of Nigeria's substitute goalkeepers picking up a booking for coming onto the pitch to celebrate that goal. Gives you an idea what it means to the Nigerians, who might have another chance here. Simon has put it over the bar. Well, it's all happening. There is the yellow card shown to Osimhen, and the yellow card as well shown to Obasogie. Nigeria's third choice goalkeeper. He plays in Tanzania. Simon. Will not keep that ball in play. Well, he's put in a power of running today, Alex Iwobi. And you do have to say all credit to them for their response in extra time. Foul on Onyeka. We're going to have 4 added minutes in the first half of extra time. Well, this game will go on and on. A marathon, not a sprint, and that applies to this game tonight as well as this qualifying campaign in general, of course. If either of these teams are to make it to the World Cup, well, they'll have to keep going until the playoffs in March. It's not going to be decided tonight or on Sunday. They need to keep winning in the meantime. Victor Osimhen has the shirt back on, his mask back on as well. Here's Lemina. Man, who got Gabon's goal late in normal time. High hanging cross, which Wabali will claim. Anthony Oyono, his brother Jeremy, is now on the field as well. They have done well in this qualifying campaign, Gabon. But it may well be that it's about to come to an end for them. And they'll have to wait at least until next time to appear at a first World Cup, the 2030 edition, which will partly take place here in Morocco, of course. Here they come. Driving run towards the edge of the penalty box. Well defended by Nigeria. Great running by Onyeka. Stopped by Lemina. Ikumi. Challenge by Bassi, so Gabon free kick. (3-1) Nigeria leads. Free kick given away by Bouanga. It's not been an easy evening for Denis Bouanga. Challenge on Onyeka. Just one or two signs of frustration setting in for the Gabon team now. And there is the whistle, half-time in extra time. Victor Osimhen finding his range at last, and Nigeria look to be out of sight. It's going to take something remarkable from Gabon to reverse the trend now. 3-1 Nigeria leads in this remarkable semi-final tie. We've had 105 minutes, but you can also add on more than 20 minutes of stoppage time in total. What can Thierry Muyuma say to his players now? There's not a huge amount more that he can do. Osimhen. He's not always been especially prolific in front of goal for the Super Eagles. He was brilliant at the AFCON last year in Côte d'Ivoire and Nigeria's run to the final, and yet he wasn't exactly banging in the goals then. His work rate is so impressive, but he got just one goal at the Cup of Nations last year. That was in Nigeria's first game against Equatorial Guinea. A hat-trick against Benin in that crucial last group game last month in this qualifying campaign, and the all-important third goal tonight, you'd have to say, because Gabon now are faced with a mountain to climb. Just caught a glimpse of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. He and his Gabon teammates are going to have to lift themselves. We go again. The second half in extra time here. 15 minutes to go, plus any added time. There's likely to be several minutes of that, because we've seen that throughout the evening tonight, that the officials have added plenty of time on. We've already been playing for more than 2 hours in reality. Nigeria would love a fourth goal just to wrap this up. Chidera Ejuke. A little acceleration, then checking his run back the way. Osai Samuel with the hanging cross, looking for the head of Osimhen. He's brilliant in the air, Victor Osimhen. Less reliable with the ball at his feet. Late in injury time and normal time, but he recovered that ability to apply the finishing touch when he made it 3-1 to Nigeria. Bouanga. Cross in from the right, watched all the way by Nwabali, who claims it. Nwabali getting himself into trouble. Well, that was nearly a catastrophe for the Nigeria goalkeeper. It would have given Gabon a massive lift. Goodness me. Aubameyang nearly giving the goalkeeper a red face. And Nigeria want to make a couple of changes here. We're going to see the vastly experienced defender William Trustekong coming on, and another defender as well in Chidozie Awaziem. So Bright Osai Samuel is making way. And Alex Iwobi coming off too. Deserves a rest for all the running he's put in tonight. Trustekong will just add his experience. Defender now playing in Saudi Arabia. The player of the tournament at the AFCON last year on Nigeria's run to the final. Chidozie Awaziem entering the fray as well. Well, it's been a while since he's featured for the Super Eagles. The centre-back who plays for Nantes in France, has gone back to France after a stint with Colorado Rapids in Major League Soccer. Osimhen again, once more from the angle. It's another goal for Osimhen. And that is that. 4-1 for Nigeria. Well, you did wonder how they would react in extra time after that incredible miss of his. We've seen the answer, and you have to take your hat off to them collectively and to Victor Osimhen individually. And once again, he finds the corner, bringing that ball down superbly, just bulldozing his way through. Fantastic from a brilliant striker. What a response from him. Quality shining through in the end for Victor Osimhen. And this game has finally got away from Gabon. The World Cup dream has got away from them too. And one of the very best players on the African continent, stepping up when it really matters. Now 8 goals for him in this qualifying campaign. That does remove any of the tension from the remaining minutes here. Maybe Osimhen can get another hat-trick. He can't stop scoring hat-tricks at the moment. One for club, one for country, already in the last month or so. Equalizer. A lot of veterans in this Gabon team who will not be around for another World Cup qualifying campaign. I think the last hurrah for the likes of Equalizer and probably Aubameyang will be the upcoming AFCON. Gabon's first game will be on the 24th of December against Cameroon in Agadir, but it's not going to be Gabon against Cameroon in the playoff final in Rabat on Sunday. Gabon looked to be heading out, defeated by Nigeria here today. Cameroon hoping to secure their place in the playoff final later. That game against the Democratic Republic of Congo kicking off in just 15 minutes' time. Gabon's other group stage opponents at the AFCON, Mozambique, and then Côte d'Ivoire in Marrakesh on New Year's Eve. Well, the Gabon fans who've come here to Rabat for the game today, much more subdued now. Ekomi. Maybe still time to salvage some pride. Back with Nigeria. Osimhen. Well, he's on a hat-trick, but he's going to have to try and pick out a teammate here. Ejuke. Score of Nigeria's all-important second goal, of course. Seems to be running on empty, Chidera Ejuke. The referee giving the free kick, and he's going to produce a card here. Booking for Muketu. Clock ticking down. Well, that's what it meant to Victor Osimhen, Nigeria's superstar striker, with a brace in extra time, and the Super Eagles keeping their World Cup dream alive. Well, it's good covering from the experienced Trustekong, one of the Nigerian players who has been to a World Cup before. Not too many members of the current squad who were around in 2018 when they went to the tournament in Russia. Didn't make it beyond the group stage. Another free kick given away, this time for the challenge on Onyeka. And time for another substitution, and Victor Osimhen is not going to get his hat-trick, but they'll need to keep him as fresh as possible, wrap him in cotton wool ahead of the final to come on Sunday against either Cameroon or the Democratic Republic of Congo, who are about to get underway in the other playoff last four tie shortly. And it's Tolu Orokodare of Wolverhampton Wanderers in England who replaces him for the last few minutes. Big, powerful centre forwards. Nwabali again getting himself into a little bit of trouble. Well, it's not going to impact the Nigerians too much now. There will be some very tired legs tomorrow, but a lot of that fatigue will be offset by the delight at being into the playoff final. Final to take place at this same stadium on Sunday evening. And that will be a fascinating semi-final as well between Cameroon and the Congolese. (4-1) for Nigeria here. They've run away with the game in extra time. Ejuke, and then 2 goals for Osimhen. Orokodare. They've shown they have that extra quality. Infield for the shot from range, a really good hit that. And tipped around the post by Mbaba. Ndidi with the effort. Could have been 5. When you think back to the saves that Mbaba made in the first half, Nigeria will probably feel that they should have had this wrapped up long ago before the end of normal time. Wasn't to be, but credit to them for their response in the extra period. Here's Bassi. Onyeka just getting into a bit of a scrap, and it's a booking for Onyeka, I think. Nze Samake is the Gabon number 15 who gave away the foul initially. Well, the referee would be wise just to try and bring proceedings to halt as quickly as possible. There's not much to be gained now by carrying on here. No question that Nigeria have won this. Before any tensions really spill over, that was Nze Samake needlessly lashing out. Onyeka limping. We have had 120 minutes. And we're going to go into 4 more minutes of stoppage time. Well, not quite over the line yet. It is incredible how much time added on is just adding an impact into the legs of these players, because we've had an extra half an hour. We've also had, we will have had close to 30 more minutes of time added on across the evening. Just gives you an idea of how grueling this playoff schedule is and how grueling a task it is for these teams to come through this. There's another game to come on Sunday for the Nigerians. Just got to finish the job. Maybe a chance for Gabon to pull it back to 4-2. Nwabali doesn't hold on to it. And Osimhen puts it behind for a corner. No need for the Nigerians to take any risks, of course. They seem to be home and dry. In comes the corner, headed away as far as Inze Samake. Shot sails over the bar, and in fact we're getting confirmation that it is only going to be 2 added minutes at the end of the second period of extra time, which means that we are just about there. Nigeria are heading through to the final. What an evening it's been here in Rabat. A remarkable game. There will be a lot of tired legs in the Nigerian camp tonight and tomorrow, but they'll have to pick themselves up again because there is the playoff final to come. They should have had it wrapped up without having to go to extra time, but all credit to them for the way they responded in extra time. Chidera Ejuke restoring their lead in the 9th